I do a lot of workshops on marriage. And a lot of the time I get asked, what are the types of questions that you should ask a potential spouse? What are the types of questions you should ask a potential spouse? So someone who, for example, this brother, he's looking to get married, mashallah, and his parents take him over to someone's house who an engagement came through, and they get to sit down with him and the potential spouse. They sit down for half an hour, in the corner over there, and they ask each other some questions, talk a little bit, get to know one another. So they wonder, what are the questions we should ask? So one of the questions which is really, really important is, and a lot of us, we don't ask it. We start to ask things like, what do you want to do in the future? Where did you study? Can you cook? And one of the things that we forget is, can you wake up for Fajr on time? And even on top of that, one of the things that you can ask is, are you capable of waking me up for Fajr on time? Are you capable of waking me up for Fajr on time? Right? There's nothing wrong with admitting to someone, especially if they're going to be your potential spouse, that you have a difficult time in certain things in your religion. In fact, it's very important that you let them know those things. That you let them know that, look, I have a difficult time getting up for Fajr. What would you do to wake me up for Fajr? I just push you off the bed, or I'll just pull the blanket off. I'll pour an entire glass of water on your face, whatever it may be. But subhanAllah, a lot of people, they forget this, and that is the essence. If the brothers and the sisters, I don't know, in some countries the sisters really do go for Fajr, right, in the masjid. But the brothers that you see always in the front row of the masjid, right, they feel the sweetness of Fajr, the importance of it, how important it is in your life, really. And one of the things that I mentioned a while back is, a lot of people ask me, how can we find a good guy these days? It's very hard to find a good guy who's religious and a good potential husband. So I told the sisters, I said, ask your fathers who's in the front row at the masjid and choose from amongst those 4 or 5 brothers that are there. Because those are the guys who, if they can make it to the masjid for Fajr, then that's a good person to have. Because that person is so in love with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's pleasure that he gives up that softness and comfort of his pillow. And we all know what it's like to lift your head off your pillow, especially when you're extremely tired, but you're still there in the masjid. So, using those things like looking for someone who's in the front row of the masjid is something very, very important. But religion in itself, in a marriage, a lot of the time people feel as though marriage should be lived according to the Western methods or the Western mentality. But this is wrong. The closer you try to get with your spouse in the pleasure of Allah, the happier you are in your marriage.